professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe to Die Trying. You see the thumbnail. The freedom of the bad girl. Now, people like to talk about when the men do stuff. And I get it. You know, right is right and wrong is wrong. But when men talk about the ladies who do stuff, it becomes no, you can't do that. That's bashing. That's a one-off. That's an anomaly. That never happens. It happened the day before that too. No, it happened the day after that too. No. And when people talk about enabling behavior, we enable a bad girl. She can never be the bad girl. Because see, the freedom that a bad girl has is she can get with a quote-unquote bad boy, and when it all ends and goes wrong, I was a victim to the bad boy. I don't know. He did this to me. He lied to me. He defrauded me, defamed me. I thought it was different. I thought he was a good person. Deep down, he got a good heart. I don't know what happened, but he hurt me. I'm so hurt. I don't know what to do no more. I'm tired of being used and abused. It's like, you were Bonnie to his Clyde. Like, you were bad too. But since society doesn't go, you know what? You're not a victim, you're a participant. What does she do? She gets to get in trouble all over again. Get with another guy all over again that has a suspect character. Because when the freedom of a bad girl is, she's never questioned about her character. No matter how nefarious the decisions are that she makes, hey, but I'm a woman and I'm a mother, and oh my God, we're gonna smash the patriarchy. Oh my God, but you just did this terrible act. Like last night, I was watching Flashback. You know, The Officer and the Gentleman. You know, what is that? Lou Gossett and I was about to say Gene Wilder. It's not Richard Gere. And there's a part of that movie where one of Richard Gere's classmates, his girlfriend thought about trapping him with a baby. She played that game. You know, I think I'm pregnant. He wanted to come there. He dropped out of the service. He wanted to marry the girl. She said, I ain't really had a baby. And then he's like, what? And he said, I'll marry you anyway. I love you. No, I wanted you to be this. The only reason I was with you because you were supposed to be this. Why would you drop out? He dropped out because of her being pregnant. And the guy, you know, subsequently drinks himself has a few drinks and hangs himself in the hotel room. And later on, you know, and they just moved on from it. And the lady was later on in the movie, when, you know, those movies end and there's the love story where Richard Gere and the other leading lady, they came together and finally became a couple. And the girl that caused this homeboy to, you know, hang himself, she just said, go ahead, girl. It's like, this how long, you know, I was a child when that came out. That was, what, 1984. I was 5 years old. And that wasn't, you know, in the black community. That was already in the movies in the white community, right? But she wasn't looked at as a bad girl. You see it when you see these constant stories of these mothers in family courts, lying, alienating parents, you know, using their children as pawns, using their children as weapons, stealing, you know, stealing from their children every month, you know, because they don't do for their kids, even if they're getting money to do for their kids, you know, but she has the freedom to do that because under the guise of being a woman and a mother, she can never be bad. So what happens when you enable bad behavior? It only gets worse. It only gets worse. And now it's to the point where, because of social media and cameras everywhere, you're seeing some of the most outrageous behavior from women that you've ever seen in life. Comparing this time period to any kind of time period in the past. it's just getting ridiculous. But you know, a group across all groups, right? And you see these ladies, and it's like nobody can say, "Yo, the reason why they're so bad is because they've been bad their whole lives. They've been lying on people their whole lives. They've been using people their whole lives. They've been cheating on people their whole lives. And the freedom of it is, you know, as crazy as she may be, as evil of a person as she may be, she's always given deity angelic status just on the fact that she's a female, just on the fact that she's a woman. So that's a complete that is more freedom than anybody on the planet, because if I'm good and I'm praised for being good, and if I'm bad, I'm I'm not blamed for being bad. The guy that was in my life is blamed for you being bad, right? So it's like it's a win-win situation. And people take advantage of that win-win situation, because you can always be the good girl, but you can never be the bad guy, because there is no quote unquote bad girl. So because of this false stereotype, I mean, it's basically, I would say, the modern rebellious woman has just as much freedom as people in America would say is the white man, because that's the only you do right, praise. You do wrong, it's somebody else's fault. You know, so it's the same. It's the same premise and concept, but the freedom is just ridiculous, like really, really ridiculous. Because like, we've watched it on social media, where now they have court proceedings where you can constantly see somebody in court being dead wrong, but well, you know, she's a woman and mother, and now you're seeing like the shoulder shrug. Yeah, you full of it, but the law says let it slide. It's like too much freedom, man. You know, they talk about no one man can have all that power when it comes to us, us black men, but when you got the power to be the good, and you got the power to not be looked at as the bad when you're bad, you know, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what it winds up being. So tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.